Hi, this is PD at BurgZerg Arcade at BurgZergArcade.com, and in today's tutorial we're going to take a look at the line renderer. So let's go ahead and open up Unity. And to create a line renderer is pretty easy. All we have to do is come over, we'll just make a new empty game object. I'm just going to leave it called game object, and I'm going to come over to component, come down to miscellaneous, and just add a line renderer. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at it. Now pretty much every one of these parameters here we've gone over in other components, but let's just quickly go over them again. Cast and receive shadows, I don't believe they actually do. This is probably just inherited from an earlier class that actually could, so I always turn them off. I've never had them cast or receive shadows. Material, just like before, you can set a material for it, and we will. For now, let's just keep going through. Position, now this is new. And what position does is allows you to tell it where the points are on your line. So let's start off with something simple. I'm going to go from this chess. So I'm going to want this position. So I'm just going to cut and paste this in. So I'm going to put that into position 1. I'm just going to shrink up my materials here. Open up element 1 or element 0. I'm going to put in the X. I'm going to go in and copy the Y. And I'll also copy the Z. And then for element 2, if we notice it's already set to 0, 0, 1. And if you take a look over here in our scene, you'll actually see the line already being made. So if we start this up and went in game, here it is right here. Now it does, like all the other particle effects, automatically billboard to face the camera. So you will notice it kind of appearing to rotate when you move around. But that's okay. But anyway, this is a line renderer. It doesn't really seem all that exciting at first. But there's actually quite a few things you can do with it. You can make lightning with it, lasers, all sorts of things. Once we start getting into scripting of these. And of course you can actually add more than one segment. Let's go ahead and make another one. And we'll make this element, let's see, element 1 is there. Let's make this one here pretty close to where we are now, so 530. On the Y, we'll say 55. And on the Z, we'll want to be around where we are now. So we'll say 1116. There we go. And if we actually went and looked at this overhead, all we're doing is zipping it off to the start of our map. There it is right there, and then it just comes back, forms a big V. Not exactly the most exciting demonstration of it, but it should give you an idea of how it works. It just basically draws a line from one place to another. So let's shrink down the positions, and we'll go over the parameters. So you have a start width and an end width. So let me just get this back in view a little bit better. Start width and end width do basically exactly what you think. It sets how wide it is at the start and at the end. So let's set the start width to 0.1. And as you can see, it just goes out and gets thicker as it goes along, and then when it comes back, it gets thinner. And of course, you can probably see it a bit better this way. It does get a little bit thicker. Of course, we could make it shorter, but that should be enough to give you an idea exactly how it works. It just basically makes it thinner or thicker at whatever end you want. So I'm going to put these back down to, I don't know, 0.1 each. So you have this nice thin line. Start color, end color. Does just like in the particle effects. It starts off on one color and will slowly transform into the end color. And then you have use world space, and well, that just does the exact same thing that it does in all the rest of the particle effects. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to get rid of it, and I've actually got a our line renderer hooked up to our portal. So if I just start it up, this is what it looks like without the particle or the line renderer attached to it. And I've made one that comes out, basically it's a 5-line script. Actually, I think it's even less than 5 lines, but basically it comes out, draws a segment of line, Changes the vector 3, draws another segment, changes the vector 3, draws another segment, and it goes through this 75 times. The great thing about line renderers is that it draws the whole line in one frame, so it's actually fairly efficient. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn that back on. There we go. Let me just shrink that down. And let's start it back up. And while the effect itself really does need quite a bit more work, there you go. Obviously 75 segments is way too long. And the material, I'm just using colors. I'm not actually using material. But there you go. If I shrink that up a bit, I think it actually looked pretty good having this thing crackle along inside of my portal. And when we get to scripting on our particle systems, that'll be something we add. Anyway, I'm going to take all these effects that we're working on right now, and I'll put them all together in one build and upload it to the website so anyone else can go ahead and log into the game and take a look. Now, I do have the chests disabled in my demo right now, as I'm currently working on something with the loot tables. So the chests aren't enabled, but everything else that we've covered so far should be in the game. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.